All right, so this is Kim Claver, and you have been listening to my partner in crime here, Vic Link. We have built 3 or 4 different companies together in the last, 15 years, maybe 18 years. And the last 2 or 3, let's see, 1 to 3, the last 3 were in the last 6 years. We build one every couple of years just to make sure we still can. And we've done a lot of the stuff, online. And we have found a way to combine online and talking on the phone in such a way that you only talk on the phone to people that are ready to sign up. And of course, that's what we want, because otherwise you spend all this time with all the wrong people, hour after hour after hour. And then at the end, they go, it's too expensive. If you could have known that at the front end, you could just go boom, 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 boom. That's the way Vic and I did it. We'd get all the people all pre-qualified, and then she'd get them one after the other and just pop them in 2 or 3 a day, every day at the top of the pay plan. Wouldn't it be cool to be able to do that? Let me see in the chat if you guys are awake and alive. You want to learn how to do that? Gina, hey girl, long time no see. Margie, good. Is everybody awake? Yeah, you want to learn how to do this stuff. Let me, yeah, you're looking good. So let me warn you about me if you don't know anything about my stuff. I do pretty much the opposite of what the industry teaches people. And so whatever you hear from me is going to be probably the opposite of what you heard from your upline, your company. It's been like that since the day I started 29 years ago. And I have just been, I like to do things a different way, not to be different, but I don't, if you don't like the old way, then you don't do it. That's kind of the way I see it. And the kinds of things that we do are things that when people do them, they, in many cases, restore hope. They restore a dream. They restore your self-confidence. So if you are doing this business, or you've been doing the business, or you're thinking about doing the business, or you had a big business and now it's crashing because person after person is disappearing on you because they can't keep it up anymore, the usual things, then this is going to be something where, number one, I am pretty sure you're not going to have ever heard this before. And secondly, if you want to build in a way that keeps your self-esteem intact and makes you feel like, instead of selling like some product or some company, that you're really aligned behind a cause that you can get behind. Because I can tell you, there's very little excitement in selling bottles of face cream. I don't care what you've got. For the market out there, they go to Amazon and look it up. They go to Google, what's the best organic face cream or hair care. Products alone are not what have sex appeal. What has sex appeal is something that is behind the product, some point of view, some cause, something where you stand for something, and this product that you're using, or the service or the business, is a means to achieve that end. Does that make sense? Tell me yes in the group if you get that or not. It's a little woo-woo, but let me just see why. Besides, I know Bernie's smart and he knows. What about the rest of you guys? The girls, have you got this? Check on my girls, Vic. Don't let them fall behind the boys.
Half a dozen yes right there. They're all women.
Okay. All right, so this topic today, warm market, is it a source of passive income? Most people come to me because they do not want to do warm market. They come because I have said, if you have no warm market, if you don't know how to talk to them, you don't want to talk to them, you want to talk to strangers and build your market that way, come to me, I'll show you how to do that. Why? Because we know how to do that. We've done that a lot. We do it a lot. But, I have this feeling that for some reason in the last several months, that warm market is going to make a comeback. And I would like to be first to tell you that I believe warm market's going to make a comeback. And I'd like for you that are listening, if you resonate with this, to be the first to use warm market in a whole new way. Put yourself in a completely different position than you ever have before when you're doing warm market, where they see you as somebody that's on a mission, somebody to be reckoned with, not some pipsqueak who's selling some $10 product and hoping to make a buck, and then somehow you're going to get rich. This is not the image. Do you want that image? You want to have an image of somebody who's a wiener? Or do you want to have somebody who's going someplace on a mission, do the thing, change the world, change people? I mean, you decide. Most network marketers are wieners. They have the little tiny picture. Oh, I need to sell my bottle. If I could just sell one more bottle, I'd make 84 cents or $5. This is not it. If you want to be a woman on a mission, then that's a very different cup of tea. And everything you market is a means to help achieve that mission that you want to accomplish in this world. Does that make sense? Let me see if we got this here. Yeah, because if you're not, then you're just a wiener. That's all you are. And that's why people don't pay attention to you, because that's what they think, because if that's how it comes across. All right. So the warm market, how do you, like I said, I believe they're making a comeback, particularly if you treat people in the way that I'm going to show you now. So I want to be sure that you remember what is passive income. Passive income, and we're going to talk now, there are a lot of forms of it. For example, if you own a multifamily home, some kind of a home unit, right? So say you own a duplex, but you don't live there. You've paid for it, you pay the mortgage, say you pay $1,000 a month, and you have two tenants and they're each paying you $600 a month. So you pay out $1,000 a month for the mortgage, you make $1,200 from the tenants, right? And so you net $200. Does everybody see that? Vic, make sure that we got the math right here. You're making $200 a month. That's called passive income, right? From your real estate, from your rental unit. If you write a popular song and they play it, each time they play it, you get a little royalty. That's called passive income. In fact, I just read the other day, one of my favorite movies of all time was Whitney Houston and who's the other guy in Bodyguard. And the song in Bodyguard was I Will Always Love You. It's one of the best songs ever recorded in terms of my personal choice. But also when she sings that, if you haven't ever heard that, put a good headset on and listen to it, you'll cry. It's just so good. Well, I had no idea, but about a month ago, Dolly Parton, you know, who's the old gal now, I think she's 80 or 70 or 80 or something. We met her in San Francisco. She used to be part of the downtown scene over there. And anyway, she had written that song originally. And it sounded nothing like when Whitney Houston chose it for her movie. And just the other, like maybe a week, 2-3 weeks ago, Dolly Parton was on a video saying that she had donated almost $10 million to a neighborhood near Whitney Houston, and that she had gotten the money from the royalties of Whitney Houston's rendition of that song that Dolly Parton had written called I Will Always Love You. She made almost $10 million. She wrote the song, Whitney Houston recorded it, and gave $10 million of what she had received to build homes in Whitney Houston's neighborhood. So passive income is income that you earn every month, or that they pay you every month for something usually you did once. That's the idea. That's the whole idea of our kind of sales. You sell it one time and people buy it every month. Now, surely you have to do more things than just sell it once. But the idea is you sell it once, and if somebody, like the internet, they sell you on your Spectrum or whatever you've got one time and you pay every month. How many of you have bills you pay every month? Yes or no? Whoever's at the other end of that is getting passive income. You're paying it, they're getting it. So you want to be the one who gets passive income. So it's money that comes into your bank account from reorders of products or service that you get paid on. Okay, have we got that? So let's do quick math so you know. Let's pretend for customers that the customer spends $100 a month. You earn $10 per customer. Let's say we have this.
Lots of yeses.
You got it? We got, okay, Vic. Yeah, you monitor. Make sure that we're not falling off the deep end here. All right, so that means, what is your monthly income if they order every month? 10 customers, they spend $100, you earn $10. What's the answer? Who could be first to put it in the group?
Nancy, 100.
Okay, anybody else?
Gina, 100.
The girls have it. All right. Hecton, all right, we got it. So this would be called passive income. Passive because you're not out there shoveling snow or raking the leaves or cleaning the house or, you know, doing some medical procedure. Now let's talk about recruits. Let's say that you have 3 recruits. Say you got Vicky and me and one other person. And let's say that we get started and we do 10,000 volume per month. Volume, 10,000 in business volume. So some of you might have a binary. Some of you might have a plan where you get 80% of it. We just say 10,000 volume per month, period. And let's pretend that you earn 5% of that $10,000 volume. When you have a recruit, the whole idea is to get somebody who knows what they're doing and wants to go like a bat out of you know where and get customers and sign up more people. And they all order product from the company, which the company then pays you a piece, right? So let's say you got 3 recruits. We'll just call them all frontline. You get your little frontline one-time bonuses, but on the monthly, I'm talking about the passive income after you've done the work and the people are in. If they're doing 10,000 a month and you earn 5%, it's usually between 3 and 5%, all the way down as many levels of generations, depending on the plan. Okay. Now, here's the big trick. Your monthly income. If the volume is 10,000 a month for 3 people from the recruits, you got this? How much do you earn? So that's a total of 30,000 in volume and you make 5%. What do you earn per month on those 3 recruits? Okay, you got 3 people, their volume is 10,000 a month. So that's 30,000 volume times 5%. What is 5% of $30,000?
Margie says 5,000.
Okay, who's got the calculator?
Ruby says 1,500.
Yeah, you see what we're doing here? 30,000 volume. And so you'd be making 5%. So 5% of 30,000 is about 1,500. This is what we would call passive income. Once you get these people, this money comes in. And if you're thinking, well, you know, in 10 years, I could be 70 or 80. And if I could have like 20 grand a month, this is the way you want to think about it. You want a few recruits, not just customers. Customers are great. Don't get me wrong. If you don't have customers that are not selling the product, you probably don't have a product anybody would ever buy. That's not selling it. That is not good. And the FTC will come and get you if you get big enough. Okay. All right. So we have this. So let's return to the original question. The warm market, is that a source? Could that be a source of passive income? So here are my questions to you. Do you avoid contacting your friends because you don't know what to say? Yes or no? Let me see.
Yes.
Avoid contacting friends, contacts, right? People that you know. Okay. Number 2, or they've told you don't bring it up anymore. So you don't call them because that's what you want to talk about. All you want to talk about is your business. All right. So no place to go for Christmas dinner. We got it? Yes, no, you tell me. And if some of those people, if you were to call them or send them a text, do you think some of them would still talk to you if you got a whole new approach? I had one lady, you know, Vic, she had made some money and lost a lot of people. And she was like maybe in her 70s or so. And she said her son came to visit her and she was in her study and she had a whole lot of product behind her, New Skin or one of the skincare companies. And her son says to her, Mom, are you still pushing that product? You see, and if this is how they see us, how can we be seen as leaders of new things in the new world, right? If that's how they see us. What do you guys think? Is that a good way to be seen by your adult son? Are you still pushing that product? Negative. Don't want to be like that. You got to do a lot more than that, right? So you don't bring it up because you're just a chicken. So here's one other scene I want you to think about to encourage you to start thinking about warm market again. Can you picture your friend Julie, who was introduced on stage at your company event as a top producer? And you didn't even ask her because you were afraid to ask her. How many people do we know that that's happened to, Vic? Where people go, oh my God, look at that person. She's, you know, works at the bank and I see her once a week and I never talk to her. And now here she is as top producer because you didn't ask. Has anyone ever had that happen to them? I mean, how would you feel if that happened? Here they are on stage, you know, their first 6-figure month. And you didn't ask them because you were kind of chicken, right? Can you just say, yeah, in disbelief, right? That's got to be the worst thing in the world. And yet you don't want to be considered that you're a dork. You don't want to be somebody that has no place to go for Christmas dinner. So this is the tension. This is the dilemma, right? So what do you do? I'll tell you what we're doing and what we did so that you know. First of all, there's really no natural way to ask for money from a friend when you're making a product recommendation. And that's why you don't know what to say. And that's why the words are driving people away. So let me just mention this a little bit. In the history of our species, one of the things that we do, women in particular, is we collaborate. We have a shoulder to cry on. We are somebody else's shoulder to cry on. We share stuff about the husband and the food and the kids and this and that. And we recommend products or things that we're using to help each other to talk about that. And the reason that the recommendation is trusted when people recommend things is because you know that they have no financial agenda. It's just a recommendation. Hey, I saw this movie and it's pretty cool. You might like it. You're not there at the theater collecting tickets and getting the money. What's happening is you're sharing a value, which is probably why you're friends with the other person. So, I went to go see Passion of the Christ. I didn't, but if I did and I liked it, I would say, you know what, Vicki, there's this Christian movie. It's pretty gory, but since you're kind of into that Christian stuff, you might like that. Versus some movie about, I don't know, some horror movie, which I don't have any interest in. And I wouldn't tell her about, not because I don't know that she likes it or not, but I don't have any interest in horror movies. So I don't go and I don't pass them on, right? So you share because of values or because it's currency. I got the latest hoo-ha, and here's the thing, here's how you do it, right? But you see, if she thought she couldn't tell if I were getting paid, she might say, well, so why are you all gushing about it? Really? Well, I sell it. Right, and then what happens? What happens to the credibility? Do you see what we're doing here? As friends, it's not in the history of among women friends to make recommendations and then expect money to be given to the person doing the recommendation. Do you see what we're doing here? So when they say it's like recommending a movie or like recommending a restaurant, there's a big difference between recommending a restaurant and recommending a movie or recommending a book. Do you know what that difference is now, right now? Why it's so hard to recommend your product or your business the way you would recommend, say, a movie or a restaurant? What makes it different? When there's money involved, everything changes. Everything changes. You have something to gain, but it's financial. That's the key. Like, for example, when I was little, I was going to be a missionary. So one of the things we did is we have to bring people into church, right? When you're 10 years old or 9 years, I guess I was about 8 or 9. And I brought some people into the church as a little kid. Say, hey, why don't you come on over on Sunday if you're feeling bad? Come on over. They always make you feel good. They sing and, and I like to sing in the choir, do all that stuff. And so I gained something, namely recognition. I brought somebody into the church, their gratitude, usually, right? The church's gratitude. So I got a gain. But it was not money. Money as a gain is the delineator that makes it impossible to talk to people about your business because there's money attached for you and they don't know that yet. Have we got this? You see, so it isn't just about gain. It's about money gain. When dollars are involved, everything changes. Okay? That's very critical for you to know. That's why when we talk to people, say, listen, I got something for you. You ready for this? It could be a lot of money. You ready for this? What have I done? I'm warning them. I'm warning them. I'm warning them. I'm telling them what's up. I'm telling them what's up. Hey, it could be some big deal. Make some super money. Vic, I got something that might blow you away. And money, let me tell you about it. She knows she's going to have to invest. Why? I've just warned her. I've set it all up. The first words out of my mouth, Vic, I got something. It might be hot, could be big, girl. A lot of money, a lot of impact. She goes, what? And when I tell her how much it is, she's not going to go, you mean this costs money? She's already looking. Shit, I could sell my house. We see, what do I have to do to get the payment? Right? Do you all see that? Tell me yes. Very different. Because that's one of the things I'm going to teach you how to do here. Okay, that's why there's no natural way to ask for money, because you will be seen as a friend that just uses people, because this is not what friends are for. It doesn't mean you can't, well, I'm going to teach you how to do it right now. But there are certain ways to do that so that you earn their respect, so that you come as an honorable person and that you honor them and the relationship that you have. And you can't do that if you're going to kind of slip them something on the side and then later they find out you're selling it. Oh my gosh. Oh, I want to catch up. Let's catch up. Really? Yeah. Oh, and then what you really want is to sell them. What do you want to catch up for? That's all pretend. Oh, how's your mom? How are the hemorrhoids? Oh yeah, how's the husband? Oh yeah, how's that all going? And then, so what are you calling for? Well, I have this new product, new business. You want to come? It's only $200. And what have you done to that first part of your conversation? How meaningful is that now to the other person, now that you've told them what you really called for? Is it very meaningful or is it not meaningful? Do you feel a little bit used or not? Right? So you don't want, it makes you both feel yucky. That's exactly the point. They feel yucky and you feel yucky because you had to do it. Well, you're going to do something better than that now, okay? I think I've sold you on this. Let me just give you one belief that derails some people. And that is this belief, that somehow that your thing is for everyone.
Most say no. Gina says that she does believe it's for everyone.
Okay.
And Margie says, I used to because that's what they teach.
Boy, don't they, huh?
Yep.
Okay, so let me show you. There are two sides to any business transaction, okay? The people who make it and have it available for sale, like the makers of the cars or the carpets or the beds or the mattresses or the homes. Have you got that side? Say yes, you got that side. So all the people who make it and sell it. So the home builders, for example, and the people, the real estate people who sell the homes. And you can name anything, cars, people who make it and people who sell it. And then they're on the other side. Who's on the other side of those people? Who's on the other side? The buyers, the consumers, right? And so we have, as consumers, we have choice. And so do you think that the guy who is selling Range Rovers, they want to sell it to everybody so they make more sales? Yes or no? If you have something to sell, do you want to sell a lot of it or a little bit? You want to sell as much as you can. That's what you do in business. Try to sell as many as you can. Got it? That's your side. That's us. We're the manufacturing and seller side. On the other side are the consumers. Do they all want what we have? Yes or no? So do they buy what we have? All of them? Yes or no? They don't. So does that mean that something's wrong with your product? Or something's wrong with you? Or does it mean that consumers, we get to choose? I want this house. I want that car. I want this cereal, not that cereal. I want this school. Yes or no? We have choice. We as sellers don't have a choice. We market what we market. But the rest of the world has a choice. And that's why if you think your thing is for everyone, you will have some trouble. Do you see why? And who decides what they're going to buy? Do we decide or do somebody else decide? Do they decide or do we decide? So just to give you an example, you could go to a toothpaste aisle, right? This is an aisle of toothpaste, like chicken aisle or dog food or cereals. These are all toothpaste. You see them? All different toothpastes. Every one of these companies has a business. Every one. Every company has a business. Everybody is in business because they're making money. Some people buy Sensodyne. That's this one here. See that? Do you know who buys that? You know who this is for? People with what? Who buys this kind of toothpaste? What do they have? What's the problem they have that they want to solve when they buy this particular toothpaste? They have sensitive gums, right? So they buy this one. But then along comes Millie, and she says, I don't have sensitive gums. I want certified organic. And so she buys this one up here. We'll pretend this is certified organic toothpaste. So Millie buys this one. Does she look at this other one and go, you suck? We should take Sensodyne off the shelf. The only thing I want to see here is certified organic. Right? Is that what you do? Is that what anybody does? Right? And then we have Lulu, and she goes, well, I don't want Sensodyne because I don't have sensitive teeth. I don't care about certified organic. We'll pretend. I want to have this toothpaste here because I have yellow teeth. Here, let's make it this one. See? I have yellow teeth, so I want the one that's got the teeth whitener there. You see that? There are all these different toothpastes, all these different skincare products, all these different hair care products, energy products, all kinds of opportunities for passive income. And all of them have a chance in the marketplace. You see that? That's what we're doing here. You need to know your place in the market. If you get everybody with sensitive gums, you are going to be one of the richest companies in the world, like the owner of this toothpaste is. And they specialize in this. You see that? And you want to do the same with your product or your business. All right, Vic, we ready for the finale?
All ready.
All right, so here's what you can do to approach warm market differently. When you call them or when you text them or DM them or do anything like that, you want to give them a heads up about what's coming. Hey, Lulu, yeah. Hey, right, Kim, yeah, everything's good. Yep. So listen, let me tell you why I'm calling. That's the first thing out of your mouth. Let me tell you why I'm calling. So it might be simple. Right, let me tell you why I'm calling. I got something I want to ask you, and I want your take on it on a scale of 1 to 10, how much it matters or how much it doesn't matter. You up for that? Yep. Okay. What's the thing? Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is nothing and 10 is, oh gosh, it's the most important thing in the world. Where are you on this? And then you give your statement, your cause, right? Like we talked about. And there's a way to do this so that you've got it exactly lined up so that the cause is there in the form of something that you want to do to make the world a better place. They know nothing about your company and nothing about your product. You're getting the philosophical buy-in or interest level first. Does that make sense? Let me see if you got this. Number 2, you're going to get a reading on their interest level. One of the things that causes people to completely crash in our industry is I got to tell you this. I got to tell you all about it. Let me tell you all about it. Without having any idea if the person has even the slightest interest in the thing. So you get a reading on their interest level in the cause and the philosophy. Number 3, you're going to tell them why you're doing this thing so they can respect your cause first. You see? When I first met Vicki at the Days Inn, we ran an ad. So we're looking for a key person to help introduce a product into this area for certain kinds of people. And I can tell you, we are going to blast it out of the park because that is what we're going to do. So I need a player, not some wussy weenie, a player, a key player for this part of California. And she came, not to be a player. She figured she was a player, but she thought, I better go check it out and see if there's not some scam because my husband just fell for 2 of those. Right, Vic?
Yes. I wasn't going to let him get scammed again.
Right?
No more scamming.
And then what happened is she bought into the mission before she ever knew what the product was. Tell him, Vic.
I went to the presentation and you were speaking and you had a brain. you were very cost driven and you never showed banners and company things. And it was really value based on something that I cared about. I already cared about the subject before I met you. And then when I met you, I thought, man, she's talking like she gets the other person. She's listening to her audience and she's speaking like she cares. That was a big one for me. So I was leaning in on the edge of the chair because I didn't want those few people that were sitting in the audience to be the key person. It had to be me. And it was all cause.
You see, you want people to feel like if there's going to be a key person that has anything to do with this particular cause, I want it to be me. And so what you want to do is, whether the person you're speaking to is that one or not, if you call them and have a little phone meeting or a little Zoom meeting and present, you can have the same impact that we had on Vicky. I want to be that person, because you announce, remember, you give them a heads up about what's coming. What is it? Key player for what? Right? What's the cause? What's that thing that what you're doing will help the world become a better place? And the people have better lives than they did before. All right, do you see that to me? You are not in the business of selling a product. No. If that's all you think, it'll be really hard for you to get players, because players can sell any product. It's the drive to change the world and people in it in a certain way that you have an interest in, and you're doing it right now. Do you want to learn how to be that person and do that when you present, instead of listing the ingredients on your company brochure? So you're using your business and your product to further a cause that is usually your cause. It might be the company's cause, but it definitely is going to be mostly something that you're interested in, and the company aligns with it. Because you need to be free to market any product that you want in case the company goes bust, right? So that you're independent. Okay. So these 3 skills, they are 20% of the warm market approach skills that you need, and they get you 80% of your results. And I would say, if you learn how to do this, these skills are 5% of the skills you need to get you 95% of the results. I don't care what you market. If you love it, if you got results, and if you have a dream, something more than just you making $5, $10, $20, or even $100 on your product. If it's an impact you want, if it's a change you want to create, and if you know you're called to do something like this, and you're using what you have to make a career out of it, a very successful one. I mean, I think Elon Musk is now the 2nd or 3rd richest man in the world. 5 years ago, he was nearly bankrupt. What made him so rich? His image. I want to go to Mars because I think we're ruining the Earth. Thousands and thousands of engineering graduates from Stanford, Harvard, Yale, Polytech, all of them said, we'll work for you free if we can just eat, right? The ramen noodles or whatever the kids eat, you know, the 25-year-olds. So we can give you our programming skills, our software skills, our engineering skills, our hardware skills, because we share in the mission. Isn't that what you want to do? Or you just want to sell little sugary drinks? I'll give them to you one more time. Give them a heads up about what's coming. Getting a reading on their interest level before you launch into your spiel. And tell why you're doing it so they can respect your cause. Not the product or the company, the cause, your mission. Have we got a yes? Do we get an amen for this? I think you'll like that one, Vicky. Yeah. Okay. So that's really what I have for you. And we have a school. We have a big school and we have a little school where we teach you how to do this. And it's really a recasting of how you see yourself. Most of you already have this person inside you that is cause driven, that wants to help. And you're all heart and all help. You just don't know the business side. You don't know how to get the money. And that's true for most people that are in the mission, that are mission driven. They don't know how to ask for money. This we will fix in a New York second. I do mean in a New York second. We will show you how to have people say, here, give me my credit card. Here's my credit card. I want that. Okay. So what you want to do, if you want to get with Vic, I guess a bunch of people are messaging you right now, but you can, if you do the bookwithvic.com, bookwithvic.com, and then, yeah, sometimes, I mean, if you want to make a difference while you're on this planet, then you want to think about what you can do for people and how to monetize that, how to make money from helping people who want your help, who appreciate what you can do for them. That's really what you're looking to do. And you can take as long as you want. You know, they say about network marketing, well, we have people sometimes will say, well, the company teaches us everything. Why should we pay somebody else? Well, then if that works for you, then stay the way you are. You can stay the way you are. If you think that's going to work, and learn it. If you just want to get a couple, 2, 3 people for your product, so you get yours free. You probably don't need a school, but even that's very hard for people to do. But if you want to, so this is really just to clarify, if you want to make $3 or $5 or $10,000 a month or more in the next 5 years, so that you have a passive income and be able to reach out to some of your warm market who could be some of your most powerful drivers in your business, you want to be able to do that. And so no decision means that you're just going to stay on the path you are, which, if that's fine with you, it's certainly fine with me. But if you don't want to stay on that path, and if you are a seasoned senior, which is somebody who's 55 and over, and you don't want to be caught with your pants down in 10, 15 years, and you're exactly where you are right now, because your upline said, well, why should you pay anybody? We have company training. Well, if you look at the company trainings, I mean, and with all due respect, 95 to 98% of everybody's failing in the network marketing business, in all the companies across the board. Go and look at your pay plan. And I don't care what company you're in, go look at the pay plan, because they're required to tell you how many people are at each level of the pay plan and how much they're making. I think the average income for people that are distributors that are making anything at all is $165 a year. A year. If you want to have an impact like Margie, get with Vic. Why would you stay the way you are? Why would anybody stay the way they are if you don't have to? Now, create some impact, and it won't be with a bottle of anything.
That's right.
All right, we're good. Let's call it a day. Vic, I think we're set.
All
See you
set.
guys later.
Thanks.